Okay, hello everybody. So let's do a recap of our lesson. Today we're talking about different ways to look at a linear equation in different forms. Now linear means a straight line, so obviously we take a look at that. That's a straight line. So we're going to look at lines that are straight, and we're talking about graphing these straight lines in three different ways. Okay, so they're all straight lines. They're all linear. So the first and most common way is what we call slope-intercept form. We like this the best. We like it the best because it's the easiest for us to graph. So we know that we use y equals mx plus b because m is your slope, rise of run. B is the y-intercept, or where it crosses the y-axis. So we looked at an example. We start with y equals 2/3 x minus 4. This is in slope-intercept form. My y-intercept is -4. It's this number here, so down to -4. So at the point -0 and -4 is our y-intercept. And then we know our slope is 2/3, so we put our y-intercept down to -4. Then we go up 2, rise over run, over 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, rise over run. We graph a line. Now if we want our x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, which is right there. Well, if you can graph it, and it's easy to find, the easiest way is just to graph the line and find the x-intercept. But if you can't graph it, or if it's too difficult to find, you can find the x-intercept by setting y equals to 0 and solving. So what I did is this. I took my equation and I set y equal to 0. Okay, so it's putting y, I put 0 equals 2/3 x minus 4. And I solved. So I went plus 4, got rid of the 4. I got 2/3 x equals 4, and then I multiplied by 3, 2x equals 12, divided by 2, and x equals 6, which completely concurs to what I had on my graph. So the x-intercept is at 6 or 6, 0, okay? All right, that's the first form. That's the most common form most people use, y equals mx plus b, because it's easy to graph. Okay, our second form is what we call factored form. So factor form looks like this. And the reason factor form works is because whatever number this is, that's my x-intercept. Well, in math, though, it has a negative. So when you see a negative in math, that means opposite. So let's take a look. Here's my slope, m again, and here's going to be my x-intercept, but the opposite. Okay, so I gave an example. Y equals 1/2 x minus 8. So my x-intercept is opposite of 8. It's at positive 8. Opposite of -8, positive 8, 0. So I know there it is at 8, 0. Got it from the opposite of the factor form. I know the slope is 1/2, so I can go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, and start graphing. Now if I need the y-intercept, I can keep going back until I find out where it crosses. It crosses at 0, -4. Or another way to do it is just to multiply this through, and we can see the -4 is right there if we go ahead and change it back to slope-intercept form. Okay, now, the third way to do this is we sometimes see it in what we call standard form. Okay, standard form, ax plus by equals c. This is quite often used in story problems. I gave the kids an example. Let's say you have 25 quarters and 10 dimes equals, like, I don't know, $10 and change. Okay, so you have two different expressions added together. Okay, so but then it's the hardest to graph. So how do we graph it? We solve for y, because I really want it to look like this form. Okay, I want it to change to this form, so I'm going to solve for y. So first of all, to solve for y, I gave an example. Excuse me. I've got 3x plus 5y equals 10. Here it is in standard form. Here's my y. Solve for y. So, all right, the first thing I should do is go minus 3x to get rid of the 3x. So minus 3x, minus 3x. 10 minus 3x is not 7x. It is not 7x, but it's just 10 minus 3x. If you can't subtract those, that's an integer, and that's an x. Okay, so 3x is gone. I slide down the 5y, bring down the equal sign, and I have my 10 minus 3x, okay? And then I'm going to divide by 5. Oh, actually, the first thing I'd also switch these. You can switch these around. Same thing. 10 minus 3x, same thing as -3x plus 10. I like it that way better. Then I divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. cancels out the 5, so I have y. Negative 3/5 is a fraction. I like that because that's my slope. And then plus 2. So then from here I get it. It's pretty easy. I have my y-intercept at 2, and I can go down 3 over 2, down 3 over 2. If I need the x-intercept, I set it equal to 0. And then I can get my x-intercept by setting it to 0 and have my negative equals my negative 3/5 x plus 2. And I could solve. Plus 2. Minus 2, minus 2. So I have a negative 2 equals a negative 3/5 x multiplied by 5, and I get a negative 10 equals a negative 3x. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, and I get 3 and 1/3 or 3.3. 0.3 or 3 and 1/3 is my x-intercept. So sometimes it is good to solve it because it looks like 3, but it's not exactly 3. It's really at 3 1/3, 0. Okay, that's all I have. I will see you tomorrow. Homework was a worksheet.